In Spanish language media, younger sports fans 18 to 34 are just as likely as 35 to 54-year-old sports fans to watch or listen to sports weekly, but they do it on different platforms, with younger favoring streaming to older audiences favoring traditional over the air. How do you win with both groups at once?
You got to have two strategies. You can't, what you do for those who listen over the air has to be different from what you do for those who are streaming, social media. Um, you need to take into account attention spans and the younger demos. Think about how they behave. They don't stay with something for a long time unless it's really, really engaging.
Mhm.
Where some of the more mature demos may stay a little bit longer. I've seen over the years, in terms of PPM, which is how we measure in radio, portable people meter, that the engagement has become less to a certain degree. It used to be you always had some meters giving you over 300 or 400 quarter hours. Now you don't see that as often as you did in the past. And that's a result of how behavior has changed. What I think you have to do is you have to figure out what your strategy is for the younger demos, what your strategy is for the older demos, and you got to go get them. But you got to know that you can't do the same thing for both groups for the most part because they consume the product in a different way, and you know, if somebody is really interested in your product and they're streaming it, they may actually stay longer because it's not like you're in the radio and you're pushing the button all over the place. But it's also where your content's got to be really good and really compelling. The other aspect is anybody could have a podcast on any sport. You or I could do that tomorrow, but if your content still isn't good enough, people aren't going to consume it. So I think the big advice is have a separate strategy for each and realize, and that's where the value of research comes in, because in a great research study, you can see what the younger demos want and what the more mature demos want. And that's going to help you make a better decision on how to move forward.